Okay, today we are playing a game on Route 66. We are playing about half the game as Brigitte and about half the game as Zenyatta, and there is no SR for today's game because it was a PTR game, which also means that it's PTR Brigitte. How sad, how sad. But we'll get to see Sigma though, so that's nice. Look, there's Sigmas on both teams, who could have guessed? Shocking, that one. So, we're defending first. We've got our lovely 200 health shield. Look at that. Delightful. So, don't bother, like, going out there and blocking. Like, you don't go out and block for people as Brigitte, unless you absolutely have to. As it currently is. We definitely don't want to go out there and be blocking with a 200 health shield. We need this shit for ourselves. Thank you very much. Don't bother just, like... There's no reason to be, like, sticking our face out like this, either. We couldn't just be, like, poking our face out to do the whip shot, and then we're kind of done at that point. Like, we've seen where the bad men are, we're just waiting for something to happen at that point. Because we can't exactly do a whole lot to contribute to the poke game as Brigitte. So, Soldier is up to no good behind our team right there. We could go and try to dislodge the Soldier ourselves, given that nobody else is likely to do it. We are going very we're going very hard right now, is what I was trying to say. And we should not be going so hard, because we're running into, like, their whole team. Well, the half of their team that's there. Half their team is, like, off in Narnia, but we're running into their team by ourselves, and we are not allowed to do that. We're not really allowed to do that right now with present-day Brigitte. We're definitely not allowed to do it with PTR Brigitte. Where we now have to play much more passively. We aren't allowed to just, like, run in and start bullying the bad men, unfortunately. So we are trying to get the Ana, and, you know, I respect that. But then we actually died, like, very quickly. It was quite startling, actually. So did we actually shield bash the Ana? No. So we could have shield bashed Ana, like, right here, and then she never gets to be in a position to run for this health kit. Because if we stun her now... So we go melee, stun, melee, whip shot. Ana should be dead. She would hopefully drop low enough to be basically dead from somebody else. That's most of playing Brigitte in terms of, like, fighting the bad men, is trying to get them to the point where you can just go, and they're dead. That's the sound the combo makes, 100% by the way. And for a 200 health hero, once they're, like, half health, you did it. Your job's done. You just gotta slap them at that point with all the buttons. And, you know, sometimes they get healed and they scamper away with, like, 1 health, and that's always very tragic, but, you know, life is hard sometimes. So, we do manage to fuck Roadhog's shot up a little bit here, and that's good. Did we throw 2 armor packs on him? He doesn't need 2 armor packs, Jesus Christ. Oh, I wondered what the fuck that was. I was like, holy shit. I don't remember Roadhog's right-click looking like that. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. I can't wait to play Sigma, dude. Sigma looks sick. I can't wait. It will be great to have, like, another tank I enjoy playing. You know, well, or a tank I enjoy playing, to be honest with you, but, you know. So did we do that right? Did we get this did we get the first slap in? We did not. So ideally, we go slap, shield bash, slap. Because then we can do some animation canceling at the same time, off of the first slap into shield bash, and then slap, slap. Ideally, if we can just get up to him, which usually we usually just walk right up to them as Brigitte, right? Ideally, we get the melee in, then cancel that into shield bash, then melee again, and then whip shot. That's pretty much what we're looking to do as Brigitte, outside of just, like, stunning the bad men when they try to kill our teammates. So we pop rally now, and we're gonna go in. We were not fully through that shield, so we ended up having our shield bash get stuffed on it. Gotta be careful, as Brigitte, when you're playing around both Sigma and Orisa, because if you don't walk far enough through those shields, you end up being sad. So we are trying to fight Like, we can fight Roadhog, it's fine. It's very scary to be running at him while he's nano boosted, because if he gets a decent shot in on us right now, like, he's done. He's won at that point. And he doesn't, so that's nice. Basically, the way it goes when you're fighting Roadhog is until he's used his hook, you're doing a lot of, like, melee, and then as soon as it makes contact, you put the shield up again, because we're really trying to block the hook. And then once the hook is blocked, Roadhog becomes a lot less scary. We also ideally are never in a position where he gets, like, this close to us, so he can't just, like, walk through our shield as well. He doesn't actually do that, he just breaks our shield instead, but we want to try and, like, space it out so that, like, he's at the absolute edge of our melee range, so he can't just, like, walk through our shield, he has to break the shield. Which is not that hard to do now, but, you know. And a lot of, like, slap, shield up, and this is just generally good to do when you're fighting, like, most people as Brigitte. Just slap him, and as soon as it makes contact, put the shield up. Also usually good to do on Reinhardt as well, same concept. Just mitigate as much damage as possible, while doing damage as well. And it helps buy a little time while we're waiting for the cooldowns as well. So, nope, it was, okay. I was like, was our armor pack sitting at full? Because just generally, any kind of, like, stacking resource, anything that has charges, like shield, armor pack does now, you don't really want the cooldown to be sitting there full, doing nothing. Ideally, as before it gets to full, you use one of them, so the cooldown's kind of always ticking over. Just trying to be as efficient with the resource as possible. And then, you know, we've still got the 2 in reserve that we can use if we really need to, and we're just trying to make sure the third one is ticking, just because we don't want the cooldown sitting around doing nothing. But we weren't doing that, I'm just saying that's generally a good thing to do with resources like that. Concussive Mine is another one where it's generally good to do that, though you're not always in a position where you can really do anything with Concussive Mine, so, you know, but it's that kind of idea. Tracer Blinks, you don't want the Blinks to be sitting there at full for an extended period of time, because you could be using it to move around and then have the cooldown ticking. So, we lost that checkpoint. Not the end of the world. It's a very difficult team for us. Like, this is not really a very good game to be playing, Brigitte, because there isn't really a whole lot we can do to the enemy team, because they're team 2, and they're, like, all snipers and long-range people. So, there's really not a whole lot for us to be doing on Brigitte, because now all we can really do is just, like, all we can do for most of the game versus this kind of comp is just sit back, trying to hit people with a whip shot, and hoping someone comes out of position so that we can do something. We've gone in mad fucking hard here trying to get this Ana. We basically can't go as hard as this anymore as Brigitte. We need to now be more reserved, because our shield being 200 health as opposed to 500 is a pretty drastic reduction, and self-healing has been nerfed as well on Brigitte, so you can't do the same kind of, like, really aggressive plays and just get away with it anymore, because not even really just most DPS, most heroes can kind of burst your shield down really quickly, and you can't even regenerate as much behind it, so we've got to spend, like, a lot more time waiting for people to be in position and just, like, guarding our team from divers, but this is why that team's not very good to play Brigitte against. There just isn't really anyone to do that to, so we're spending a lot of time, like, fighting Roadhog, which is way less appealing now than it was, way less appealing with PTR Brigitte than it is with, like, on live right now, because, you know, as long as you do it right, it's pretty much free versus Roadhog on live right now. PTR Brigitte, he can kind of one-shot our shield without too much difficulty, so we kinda don't really want to fight him as much anymore, you know. It's more about, like, fucking him up while he's trying to kill somebody else, you know, doing a lot more bodyguarding our teammates as opposed to going out there and trying to actually kill people now, unfortunately, you know. I'm not very happy with all of this, to be honest with you. So we did manage to get up onto the Widowmaker right there. She used Infrasight, but it sure didn't save her from us, did it? So we did it well there versus that Ana. We were doing a lot of the shield blocking. We could have stunned this Mercy. Yep. Oh, nope. Shield bash was coming up. So we could have started holding the shield up, like, right now. We also want to be regenerating a little bit right now because we're really low. And it's like not like Mercy's the only one out here, but Mercy like can kill us by herself as well. We want to regenerate a little bit behind the shield, and then we could just stun Mercy as soon as it comes up. And probably weren't very going to kill her at any point, but you know, we could have at least made life a little bit more difficult for her. So we didn't actually stun Soldier right there. Not quite close enough to him. Need to get a little bit closer before we could stun him, tragically. But things are not exactly going well right now. Got killed before we could pop Rally. Yeah, we did try to whip shot him right there. And yeah. Basically, I'm going to say we should have played a little bit more passively with our shield up because we were so close to having Rally, and things were going very badly at the time. So we needed to, like, try and make absolutely sure we get Rally off before we die. Well, you know. So, not just like it's going to do anything if we die. Ideally, we don't die while Rally's going. You get the idea. We're trying to, like, stall out so we can pop Rally and hopefully survive, rather than trying to get the extra damage on the Roadhog. It's more about survival at that point and just playing passively to try and stall the game out, rather than trying to, like, pop all the cooldowns to do damage. So, anyway, we're attacking now. Their team is a little better to play Brigitte against now because they have a Genji. So, that's nice. But, boy, is it gonna be just a sad fucking day for us. There's a Pharah, Sigma, there we go, that's his name. Sigma and Roadhog are gonna do like a pretty good job of breaking our shields, and then we can't really do anything about the Pharah, so we're really only gonna be doing much to the Genji. Can't go in this aggro. Did we get booped, actually? No, we're like going in right now. Can't go in that aggro. Can't do it. Can't do it anymore. We gotta play, like, really passively. Like, we gotta wait until our team engages a fight for us to really be able to go in there and, like, start swinging our mace at people, or we've gotta just wait for somebody to come in and then we shield bash them. But we've changed to Zenyatta now. We've entered the Zenyatta segment of the game. Oh my god. New Brigitte's just so upsetting, dude. So we, there we go, Discord's on someone. We couldn't really see anybody, I suppose. They were behind a shield right there. I don't really like Sigma's shield effect. Like, I feel like it could be more visible than it actually is. Like, the middle's a little bit too transparent for my liking. But I'm also colorblind, so maybe it's my own problem. Don't be colorblind, that's the real strat. So we're trying to, like, pop, I assume, Pharah? No, Pharah's already dead. I'm not sure who we were trying to pop as they came around the corner. I guess Genji? As they came around up there. Very hard to do. Genji being a fairly squirrely individual. So we haven't got our Discord orb. There we go, now we got a Discord orb on somebody. That's the thing with, like, spamming the charge up constantly when you don't have Discord on anyone. Like, if you're playing against a shield comp, you're gonna invariably end up missing a small opportunity to put the Discord orb on somebody if you're charging up constantly. Oh, we did get that fucking Genji right there, though. He's gonna be mad about that one. So we're pretty close to having Trance built up. We do want to save it. Is that what fucking Sigma says when he ults? What the what did he say? Jesus Christ. Sigma is very intense when he uses his ultimate. Jesus Christ. Pretty... Like, I can't deny it's a fitting voice line. I was like, Jesus Christ, is that what Sigma sounds like? Holy fuck. I haven't really watched a whole lot of Sigma gameplay, to be honest with you. So we've got Trance built up. We do want to use it, save it for Dragon Blade, but we know he used it not that long ago, and he's kind of been eating shit since then, so we know he's not very close to, obviously we can go, he's at 22%, obviously not, but we can infer at the time that he's not going to be very close to having Dragon Blade because he's been eating shit for the entire time since he last used Dragon Blade. So we don't necessarily have to worry about using it, saving it for him right now, because it's feasible for us to build up another Trance before he builds up another Dragon Blade. I respect how fucking ham we went on that one, to be honest with you. We stopped that fucking Mercy rezzing someone, and then we showed our pupil who's fucking boss. I like how we are now at a point as well where, like, Zenyatta was Genji's mentor, and now Genji can be a Sentai fighter, and Zenyatta can be a baseball pitcher, right? Like, what a good day it is. So we've decided to pop trance right now. The reason we've popped trance is for Sigma. Sigma is currently purple. Now, it does wear off, like, as we arrive, so that's nice, but we were popping it for somebody that was purple at the time. So, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and we'll say we were just tracking the purple duration closely, and we knew it was about to be up, but as I we did use it for somebody that was purple, which is not a great use of Transcendence, but I'll assume we're tracking the duration on it. So we've managed to capture the first checkpoint. Genji has still been eating shit, but he's gonna be, we should know by this point he's gonna be close to having Dragon Blade, just because it's been several minutes since we last saw him use it. But we're not very close to having Transcendence right now. So we would like to try and accelerate building Transcendence as quickly as we can, which basically means try and shoot a tank as much as physically possible to generate ult charge, because they are going to be the main source of ult charge. Obviously still trying to shoot, like, other people when we got the opportunity, but if you're ever in a position where you're like, I really want to build my ultimate, like, as soon as humanly possible, start trying to bully a tank, if you can. Now, unfortunately, Sigma's not a very easy tank to bully. He's not, like, he's got a pretty small model, like, for a tank. Like, I wonder if he's actually smaller than Zarya. He's pretty close to Zarya. Probably slightly harder, just because he's floating, so, like, his center of mass is a little bit higher, so it's gonna be like, He's like Zarya-esque in terms of hitbox. He's not very easy to generate ult charge off of, unfortunately, but they do have a Roadhog. So we're trying to go through this way. This is a very difficult way for us to go through versus the enemy team, because they're very... Oh my god, Sigma, you can't do that. Jesus Christ. It's very hard for us to go through this way because they have a pretty area denial team. But, you know, if our teams decided that they were going to go this way, well, there's not a whole lot we can do about that one, other than go with them while they're making their mistake and hope that we can make their mistake a little less grave. Oh, we got her. Yeah, she's mad. Black Jumanji? Okay. What a weird name. Zarya's name is Give Me Your Money, so that's nice. She's, oh, Jesus Christ. So that was very unfortunate. Oof, Jesus Christ. Oof. We sure did get to some pitching right there, didn't we? Goddamn. So we, like, super ate shit. We did get rezzed by Mercy, but we're not tracking ourselves right now. We're currently on, Mercy. We are alive again, but we're out there somewhere. We're out there somewhere. This is not us. This is us. There we go. We're back to us again. So, even though we ate shit, the fight went well overall, thank goodness. Their Sigma and their Pharah did not exactly combo their ultimates well. It's not exactly a great Pharah combo, I suppose, at the same time, is it? Sigma's ult's really weird, man. Like, that's my one thing with Sigma, is I'm like, you know... He's got a really fucking weird ultimate. It's probably strong, it's just a matter of, like, getting used to actually using it. It's just, like, it's, like, so fucked up, dude. It's like an inverse graviton. That's not really what it's like. That was just what my mind immediately thought of. An inverse graviton would literally just be a circle on the ground that pulses and pushes you away from people, which is what Zarya does in Heroes of the Storm, that dead game that Blizzard made. And then abandoned after trying really hard to make it an esport that was also appealing to casual gamers, which is an interesting choice to take in terms of game balance. We would like this to be an esport, but we would also like this to be extremely casual friendly. Not that it's impossible, I mean, look at Smash, but I mean... You know, maybe not a good idea to try and force it at the same time. So we're trying to fight this Mei right now. We do not want to peak that Mei again when we are at 60 health, because we can super easily die, which is exactly what happened. So, you know, I get to go, look, see, that thing that happened? We should have not let that thing happen. And then I get to pat myself on the back and say I'm a very good coach. So this time she went for us. We had no option but to continue trying to fight her. But the previous one, we could have just not peeked again at low health. Once she's coming at us, though, well, fuck, right? So, we have not got a whole lot of time left. We're not very close to having Transcendence built up, unfortunately, either. Because as we can see, they're close to building up quite a few ultimates that we would like to have Transcendence ready for. The best we can try and do to boost that one again is pretty much just try and bully Roadhog, if we can. So here, we have tracked across the choke point to try and shoot at this person over here, which is just generally speaking a poor form, like very bad social etiquette to just like walk straight in front of the enemy team when there's no shield in front of you. Even when there is a shield in front of you, it's still best avoided doing if possible, but yeah, we just walk across and then they're like, whoa dude, look at that, and they just see Zenyatta go, oh shit dude, and we look like the duck in the fairground attraction. We do have 69% charge, though. Oh, it's gone now. Damn. It was very nice. Poor Reinhardt. Yet another tank that will bully Reinhardt around. You know, Hammond makes it pretty difficult to play Reinhardt, and I don't feel like Sigma is going to help the situation at all. Soldier's using Tac Visor right now, and we are sadly, tragically close to having Transcendence built up, but not quite close enough. So we can say here that those 2 deaths that we could have avoided by playing more cautiously earlier, had we avoided them, we would have probably had our Transcendence for that situation, because we were oh so very close to having Transcendence, but we just didn't quite build it in time. Had we avoided the 2 previous deaths, we would have likely gotten the like 10% more ult charge over them, even if we only lived like 5 seconds longer overall. So there you go, an instance of some of those like mistakes coming back in the long tail of the game to get you. So there are some questions in the email, which obviously I forgot to pop off to come over here and to read out, you know. Let's see, there were for specific timestamps in the video. Oh god, what have I done? Oh no, so 106, oh Jesus Christ. So, let's see, I bashed the hog and bounced off him into the enemy team. Is that supposed to happen, or is it just in PTR? That's a very dramatic, bounce that we had right there. Like, this is basically it working as intended. It's just the fact we collided at him at a weird angle, more or less, because, like, what basically happened is, like, the very edge of our shield bash hitbox hit him, but not enough for us to physically, like, stop on the guy. So we kept going, but we stunned him because he hit, like, clipped, like, the end of it. So that is it working as intended. It's just a weird hitbox situation because of the angle we came at him at. It does happen, though. I've seen that happen on live right now as well. It's just, like, hitbox stuff, basically. At 2:30... oh god, what a disaster. At 2:30, I said, fuck it, and flank with Azaria since she was going to die alone anyways. It felt like that was the only way to make this team have a chance at the W. So might as well. Was that big brain or just a bad play, and should I have let her die? No, you don't go and help people flank as Brigitte. It's not your job. Like, if she's gonna go off and do this, like, it kind of depends. Like, I could see myself doing this if I think I've got a shot at getting this Anna that's over here, but we get to know that, I get to know that Anna's there ahead of time because I'm looking at the spectator camera, so I know that she's through this wall. Based off of when we saw her right there, I wouldn't go for this, because it's one of those situations where, like, if I thought we could get this Anna, then I'd go for it, but like, looking at it through the silhouette, it doesn't look so bad, but looking at it from this, like, we gotta use this information, because this is what we actually saw in the game, right? Looking at this information, I would not follow the Zarya, because that Ana looked tucked in with her teammates. And then as we're going round this way, we can see that Ana ended up splitting off from her teammates a little bit, so now it's more appealing than it was previously. But based off the information we had at the time, I would not have gone for this flank, because Ana did not look exposed. At 7:16... I dove the Widow because the whole game I felt no one has tried to make any plays or do their job well, except for like 2 other people. Then Ana gave me an opportunity to murder, which was cool. Also, same thinking at 12:10. Was that a feed? No, this is fine. Like, it's not like we have to go far out of our way to do this, and, like, I was already saying that we might want to go after the soldier, like, really early on in the game when he was, like, behind the gas station on the high ground, right? Like, if nobody else is dealing with that kind of situation, you can go and try to deal with it as Brigitte. The one at the gas station would be a very time-consuming affair to try and do, and Soldier can disengage from us easily, but we would hopefully at least dislodge him from the high ground. This one, though, like, it's completely fine. Like, we have to go, like, 5 feet out of our way to get up here, and it's not very hard for us to kill Widowmaker as Brigitte, so no, this is fine to do. Next up... I know you hate when Zam spam M2, but I feel like I can't kill people as well with M1, like at 1042 and 1050. So, 1042. Oh yeah, I mean, this is fair enough. While he's like charging up behind us, we can like read the dash coming back through. And then 1050. Who do we get here? Oh, we get this guy? Oh, I see. We're doing a bad job of tracking right now. So, I mean, I am in the minority of people who, like, dislikes Zenyatta's M2 a lot, just because, like, I find that people lean on it as a crutch really heavily, and I find that to just be a bad habit, but it's worth pointing out I am in the minority of people. Like, most people say that M2 is great to use and you should be using it literally all of the time, and I'm like, I hate this ability, actually, and people lean on it way too heavily because sometimes it gets you a cheesy kill and that feels good. But I am in the minority. Like, you know, the thing is as well is that I think I'm generally better at tracking, which is more beneficial to M1 than M2. So it's more like my style as well. I prefer just to track people with the left click rather than using the right click. So more of a personal thing than anything else. So don't necessarily worry about it. Because the question is that just a bad habit and I should just shut the fuck up and learn to aim M1? Or is it preference if you can aim it? It largely seems to be preference. And I am in the minority in this preference. So I would say not to worry about it too much. It's... you know, depends on how much you prefer, like, what your take on my preference is, basically. But my preference is aiming M1 over spamming M2. And next up is, I don't know if you played him yet, but I play Sigma a bit like Ryan, and I try to always hold W, but my shield keeps breaking too fast, even when I do the one-hand DM thing, and Zarya able to buy time to recharge it. Should I play Sigma more like Orisa, a puss-puss, or Ryan, W-boy? Sigma seems much more in line with Orisa. He seems to be somewhere between those 2 points. I haven't played Sigma yet, so this is purely me speculating off what gameplay I have seen and just, like, reading his kit. But he seems like he's somewhere in between those 2 points of, Reinhardt and Orisa. It seems like you basically still want to, like, you can move forward more aggressively than Orisa would. Especially since you have an ultimate that can be used aggressively, which Orisa struggles to do. Sigma, by nature, is more aggressive than Orisa, because Orisa is an extremely passive tank. So he's more aggressive than her, doubtlessly, but he's not as aggressive as Reinhardt. It's somewhere between the 2 playstyles. But again, I haven't played him yet. Like, this is just my impressions off of, like, watching gameplay and reading his kit. You know, so, could be totally wrong. Could turn around in a week and I'm like, so Sigma's the best dive tank in the game. That probably won't happen, but, you know, I'll cover my own ass and say I haven't played him, so it's just me theorizing off what I've seen. But he seems like he's somewhere between the two, so it's about figuring out how to, like, leapfrog as aggressively as possible with his shield, it seems like, and then trying to leverage his cooldowns as much as possible as well. Being that he's a hero that looks like he is going to revolve around his ultimate a lot. Shocking, I know. There's no heroes that do that in this game. What a startler there. So, anyway, that's all the questions in the email. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you felt I answered your questions from the email inadequately, please let me know, and I will try to expand further. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST until midnight EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful. Didn't fuck it up for once. Nice.